Hi everyone, I was at Lucille's barbecue the other night for an enjoyable happy hour experience. You know, $5 cocktails, $5 appetizers, half-price bottles of wine. I didn't drink all of that, but it was a great evening, and the team at the bar in Tustin did a great job of looking after my wife and I. However, it did get me thinking. Always does, doesn't it? Happy hour lasts at this restaurant between 3 and 7 p.m. and then again after 9 p.m. And so clearly Lucille's are using this as an off-peak traffic driver mechanism. But is it really optimized beyond knowing that their busiest hours of service are likely between 7 and 9 p.m? Probably not, I would argue. Now, maybe some nights of the week, the busiest hours are between 6 and 8 p.m. You know, when we were there on a Monday at 6 p.m, we were walking and we were waiting for about 10 minutes before we decided to head to the bar for just immediate service. But maybe that day, maybe the restaurant had a call out and were understaffed. The point is, even if on a Monday it was 6 to 8 p.m, which was the busiest point in time, they're not going to have a bunch of laminated paper menus to alter the actual time frame of a happy hour, like the ones I show on the photo below. You know, a digital menu can accommodate flexibility in timings, things like happy hours or specific surges in demand, or, of course, in capacity when there are labour issues. This particular restaurant is situated close to a movie theatre. So, for example, when the main screenings end, perhaps that surge of folks represents a catchment of potential guests that are already enjoying a night out and just naturally progress past this particular location and perhaps don't even need a happy hour incentive to draw them in. Or perhaps maybe if you've got a beacon and some way to be able to draw them in through messaging them on their phones, you could. Now, when we were greeted at the front desk by the attendant, they asked for our telephone number, email address and name. It was a bit intrusive, in all honesty, because they didn't explain how that data was going to be used. But after a few moments, they told us that they're going to text us and let us know when our table was ready, which of course didn't matter because we decided to go to the bar anyway. But given the fact that we hadn't registered before, given we were, for all intents and purposes, a new guest, what if a digital menu could have then been offered to us? Almost like a special first-time guest incentive. A happy hour, especially for us, where for the next hour, we were going to get anything off our own special menu at 50%. Could this also exist and work in an off-premise setting? Can you imagine the impact that would have to a new guest? Imagine if the server then told us that if we were to share a picture of the happy hour experience on Instagram or on TikTok, would extend their happy hour by a further 20 minutes. What if we gave them a special code that if used by a friend following them on social media, would send the friend and them some other enticing offers to draw them back to enjoy, perhaps together, on a future occasion? You see, happy hours worked in an analog world where paper menus and fixed schedules were the best we really could hope for. But now, in a digital restaurant world, the data you can amass about not just only your transactional data and your trends, but your customers, and the fact that those customers are in their own way a voice for spreading the word of the experience and delighting them by that experience with ways to perhaps entice them and their friends back in the future. And it's taken the whole initiative of transactional growth marketing to an entirely new level.